world. Now then, crew, and welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. And I'm continuing with the work on Ben's, yes, Ben's, what is it, 1993 Ford Courier pickup truck. And it went for a warrant of fitness down at VTNZ, and there's been a few videos prior to this one about the bits and pieces I've been fixing on it. And we've ticked off most of the stuff now, but what's left to do is a front wheel bearing adjustment. Now, obviously, I'm hoping, really hoping, it's taper roller bearings in that front hub, so we can give it a bit of a tweak, get rid of the play, job's a carrot. If it's you know, one of the seal bearing types where there's no adjustment, then it's going to have a new wheel bearing. But I'm pretty confident, given the age of the vehicle, it'll be a pair of taper rollers in there, a bit like on the Nissan Patrol we have. So without further ado, let's head outside and work out what we need to do, get it done. Here we go. Right, fingers crossed. We're going in, so we've got to pop this little cap off first. And hopefully it'll play ball. Sorry, Tang screwdriver. There we go, look, easy peasy. No distortion. Oh, it looks pretty good. Right, we're going to need some side cutters we've got left over from earlier on from doing the ball joint, so we'll ping that little circular part of it. Circular cotter pin, split pin, call it whatever you want. There we go, look, like a new one. Pull that out of there, take that off, put them in the cap. So the cap's perfect, so it's designed for putting all the bits in, look. Okay. So we need to adjust that to get rid of the play. Now, the best way of doing this, to get a really good feel for getting rid of the play, is to pop the caliper off and have the wheel on. So there's nothing there supporting the wheel, or supporting the disc, so you can actually feel the movement. So we'll do that. So we need what looks like a 14mm spanner. There's one of those kicking around somewhere. And I'll flick the caliper off, and we'll just pop the wheel on with a couple of wheel nuts. Right, sorry it's a bit dark, it's pretty bright out here. Does that make any sense? That's how cameras seem to work, isn't it? Right, so you just undo this one bolt at the bottom on the slider. Oh, it's almost not finger tight. There we go. Look at that, it's copper paste. I've been in there before. Now we can slide the caliper up towards the camera, and you can use your spanner if you want, just lever it off the brake disc, off the hub should I say. There we go. Right, the caliper, oh that's dry, we'll stick some grease in there. The caliper can just hide out of the way now. I want to hang it on the, oh will it fit down there? Where's it going to go? Right, I was going to get a little hook and we'll hang it on the hook. Right, we'll pop that down there and we'll stick Mr. Caliper just in there, look. That'll work, he's out of the way now. He's not hanging on the actual flexi pipe, which is terrible. You get so many comments on YouTube if you do that. Right, pads are out. We'll straighten the steering up. There we go. And we'll go and find a wheel. See, it spins nice and freely now, and we'll be able to feel for any kind of play. Oh, you can hear that. That's what Mr. VTNZ man found. Soon get rid of it there. Right, wheel back on. I might even pop that bearing out and have a quick look at the outer bearing, just to make sure it's all good. It's so awkward with the camera in the way. There we go. Right, we're going to need 2 wheel nuts. One there, one opposite. There we go. Okay, so now we can feel the current play in the bearing. Yeah, you won't see it, but I can feel that. It's not bad. We've got a bit of trailer, it'll probably still have passed. Okay, so we're going to find. Oh, that was a bit loose, wasn't it? All right, so we're going to pull that nut off. Okay, that's that bit done. Put it somewhere ready to be clean, and we'll just give it a bit of a jiggle. That bearing should just come out. Make sure you're using clean stuff. A bit of the washer, and I'm only doing this to make sure that the bearing's not in a situation where it's going to collapse. Now, of course, there is the rear bearing as well, but usually, just check one and make sure it's in good nick. Oh, looks alright. Nothing's falling off. Cage is good, the rollers all look good. Alright, we'll stick that back in. Looks a bit dry though. Maybe I'll stick a bit of grease in while we're on. Stick it back in. Right, I'll go find the grease. Right, grease. That'll do the trick. Bit of Vertex lubricants, high performance Blue Tack EP2, high performance multi-purpose grease. Yeah. Non-contaminated. That means that Ben's not left the lid off in the workshop and filled it with grinding dust, which tends to really destroy grease, doesn't it? Right. Just stick a bit in there, look, on that bearing race, because it was looking a bit dry. There we go, that'll work. Gonna run out of rags again. Yes, that's the screwdriver that I broke last week with Tool Girl Ali off camera. One day you might see that video. It's hilarious. Maybe I'll do it as an April Fool's video. Right, how's that bearing? Maybe we should just give it a bit of a clean with our semi-clean rag and just work some new grease into the bearing. Normally I don't bother doing this, I just fit new bearings, but it seems it hasn't failed on bearing noise or condition of bearing, just on play. Be alright, let's not worry about it. Move on with life. Okay. Oh, I'll give you a part number while we're here. So the outer bearing is a 30205J, made in Japan. Is this one? So it's probably, good old Japs, it's probably the original bearing from new. It just says Japan, doesn't say who made it. Oh, NSK, there we are, look under the grease. NSK bearing. Wonderful. Right, I've got a bit of grease just working into those rollers, into the cage. Oh, Ben's invoice is going to be massive, isn't it? Working against the clock today, unfortunately. Hence the ripped glove, and I can't bother to replace it. Sorry, Mr. PPE man. It's just the way it is. I'm against the clock. Right, I can go back in there. There we go. Put the lid back on the grease before it becomes contaminated grease. Benjamin Young. Right. Okay, Mr. Washer, we'll give that a bit of a wipe off because the grease looks pretty old and a bit manky. There we go. That's the spinny side, so we'll stick that in there in the groove. Right. Now, just the nut. And this is a bit different to the old Patrols because they had 2 big nuts, and the Suzuki's as well actually. 2 big nuts in there, like Land Rovers and stuff, where you, one's your adjuster nut and one's your lock nut, and it has little locking tabs on it. This is a bit more Mickey Mouse than that. So you've just got a single nut, which we use for the tension, for the adjustment. Set that in the right position. And I'll go and get a spanner or a socket to fit that, probably a socket. Oh, yeah, I reckon it needs a bit more. you go. Right, so I'm going to get a spanner so we can adjust it finally. And then we'll crack on and put the little thing back on. And obviously put the brake back in place. What do you reckon, 24? I think so. Right, was I right? It's 24. No, I wasn't. 22. Damn. Oh, we're still recording, that's good. Okay, so 22. Oh man, so 23 again. Why would they do that to me? Okay, I haven't got 23. It doesn't have to be over tight, it's just adjustments we're doing. Yeah, still a little bit there. Oh, it sounds nice and quiet. Okay, crank it up a little bit more. Try that. Okay, it's not too much preload on there. Oh, it feels pretty good. Get one more little tweak if we can. Those taper roller bearings should have a bit of preload on them. So you get rid of all the play and then give it a little bit more. Well, I'm happy with that. Great stuff. Okay, where's our little parts bin? Let me have a look. Okay, so this little device here is what stops that nut from coming undone, and it was loose before, remember? Because those bearings have worn down a bit. Lost all the preload. So all you do is put this on, keep moving it around to a point where the split pin lines up, which is basically that point there. Now the question is, do I risk a lot of comments and reuse the old split pin and get loads of grief from YouTubers? No, I'll get a new one. There you go. I'll do another spinny thing for YouTube, because you do like it when the wheels spin around like that, don't you? Right, okay, back to work. New split pin going in. Let me get a look. Side cutters are great for this job. Get the long leg, bend it up like that. There's that one, and then bend that one. There we are. Brilliant. Okay, now it's not the nut that's loose, it's just this little, you know, locking press steel thing tends to move around a little bit. What you can do is just bend the tabs down a bit as well towards the, there we go. That's not going anywhere. Okay, and we can stick the cap back on again. Where's the hammer? Great stuff. Okay, wheel back on, caliper back on, after we put the pads on, and then we're done. But I can do that as part of a brakes job, so you've seen how to adjust a wheel bearing. Well, there you go, how to adjust a wheel bearing on, front wheel bearing, front hub bearing on a 1993 Ford Courier pickup truck, if you're English. Yeah, bearing in good condition. All it required was the adjustment nut to be turned a little bit more clockwise to take up the play and then give it a bit of preload too. Because don't forget, taper roller bearings, they're often in pairs, should be in pairs, and they require a preload to operate correctly. That's one of the reasons why the manufacturers choose to use taper roller bearings over normal bearings, because they can carry more load. Right, so joyous moment. We can tick off on the sheet the wheel bearing play. So what's left? One more video, I think. Maybe. Will it be a video? I don't know. I have to wait and see. Rear brake adjustment. Yeah. Then it's cider time. Okay, crew. Well, hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, why not click on the subscribe button? You'll see a little gear icon turn up. Click on the gear icon and then you can tick the box and turn on notifications. You'll also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, and Twitter. Feel free to communicate through any of those portals. However, first point of contact, if you don't mind, through the comments on YouTube. There's also a Patreon page. You can drop onto there, check out how the Andy Mechanic channel actually came around. It was a bit unique, and up and coming projects for the future as well. And you can also donate should you choose. All right, chaps. Well, until next time, I'll see you around. Cheers. Over and out.